Hello and welcome back to my live. I'm probably have to make this quick because the plumber's coming in. Today we're making potato latkes, which are traditionally a Jewish thing, but oh, I thought I put I did put it in. Yeah, but it's Hanukkah, so I figure that's good. We could celebrate that too, and I happen to like potato latkes. Now, this is only the third time that I am using that was noisy. Sorry about that. I didn't know it was going to be so noisy. Um, yeah, it's only this like the third time that I'm using this, so I'm glad that everything turned out okay. Yes, can I help you?
Who was that?
The plumber.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why this is probably going to be a short one because the plumber wants to come in, and he's going to be very noisy. So I'm going to keep that big chunk. So I'm going to put the potatoes in this dish and season it up. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to maybe put the oil in here. No, I can wait. Or maybe I will. Indecisive. I'm going to put it on medium heat and pour some oil on here so we could fry them up. Wow. How about we put that there? Little piece of potato. It didn't quite get grated. You know what? It's too big of a chunk. We're just going to throw that away. That was so quick. It's like I really didn't want to grate potatoes, and I really didn't have to. Ooh. And I thought those 3 small potatoes weren't going to make much, but they actually did. They actually did. Yum, yum. I'm going to try and get this out of the way so you won't have to look at that monstrosity the whole time. How about if I push this back? There, that's better. And I'll put the plates over here. And we're just going to season it up with a little salt and pepper. Hey, Miss Yo-Yo. How you doing? I just grated up my potatoes for the latkes. Thanks for coming in. Ooh. I don't want too much of this pepper because it's really strong. Because it's just ground up peppercorns. Woo! I can smell them. finding little pieces of potato skin, and if I had peel that all off, obviously I didn't, and luckily it didn't get grated up with the rest of onions and potatoes. Wow, I missed a lot of the skin. Oh, you're at work? Okay. Making, yeah, potato latkes, which is more of a Hanukkah thing rather than Christmas, but it happens to be, I think, the third day of Hanukkah right now. So we're just going to include this because I love latkes. I cannot believe how much onion skin I got in there. Just trying to mix this up good. I like latkes. I like matzo ball soup. I've never tasted borscht. I make that with beets. I'm just going to taste a bit of this raw potato. Needs a little more salt. Not too much. I'm going to mix that up a little bit. I am excited. You know, it's funny. It's like I have, I know I talk about this all the time, but I have celiac disease and I'm gluten-free. And, you know, homemade latkes are traditionally made without flour. But if you have latkes in a restaurant, it's always good to ask if they add flour to their latkes, because they often do, because they have to cook at such fast pace, and flour helps hold them together. But if you're if you're making them at home, you don't put flour in them. I'm just gonna set in and snip it down. That medium heat seems to do fine. So we're going to keep it like that. And if I had a good donut recipe, I'd make some jelly donuts, because that's another thing that they make. I've seen it made with those Pillsbury donuts. And Pillsbury used to make gluten-free donuts, but they don't not donuts, gluten-free biscuits. I've seen it made with the gluten-free biscuits. You fry them and then you just like put jelly in the middle. Yeah. And then we'll just cook these up. I'll turn up the heat a little bit and see what's to it. I hope the plumber. Hey, Jazzy. Hey, Meet the Paytons. Thanks for coming in. We're making potato latkes today, which are traditionally a Hanukkah kind of thing. But it's Hanukkah. It's the third day of Hanukkah. Yeah. 9, 10, 11. Yeah, today's the third day of Hanukkah. So we're going to celebrate them too. Thanks for joining the live. Yeah. You know, I'm not that hungry, but I'm sure once these start cooking up and smelling real good, I'll want to eat. I'll be in the mood to eat. That's usually what happens to me. Do you like my outfit today? Every day I try to think of something to do for Vlogmas. And I like being silly, so this hair keeps coming to the front, and I have not done it yet. I'm gonna try and do my hair over the weekend for you guys, so you won't have to look at me looking all crazy. All kinds of crazy. I'm just gonna braid it in the back a little bit so it'll stay put together, or stay in the back. I'm making a mess, but there. I think that will kind of sort of serve the purpose. Wait, let me look. What did I do with my glasses? I did have them here with me. Oh, found them. Oh, potato cakes. And how do you make those? You put them with, because all I put in these were onions, salt, and pepper. Oh, red was my mother's favorite color. Yeah, but salt and pepper, that's all you really season them up with. And then I have my yogurt instead of sour cream, so I don't have any sour cream. And I have my homemade applesauce to put on top. So I'm going to sample it with the yogurt first, because plain yogurt doesn't taste like sour cream. Greek yogurt, no problem. But I don't have. Oh, potato flour and onions. Okay. I was telling them before that homemade latkes, you don't really put flour in them. But if you get them in a restaurant, because they are, making things so quickly, and, they want to speed up the process, they do put flour in them sometimes. So you always have to, I always have to ask, because I can't have regular flour, and that's what most places use. And if I wanted to, I guess I could have put corn flour in here, but it doesn't really need it. Hey, Miss Chisholm, thanks for coming in. Thanks for the love. I appreciate you. We're making latkes today, or potato pancakes, or potato cakes maybe. Yeah. Yeah, and I just put some potatoes, onions, salt, and pepper. Then I'm going to fry them up, and I'm going to top them with, I keep wanting to say sour cream, but I don't have sour cream, so I have yogurt. I'm going to test it out and see how it tastes with yogurt. And applesauce, my homemade applesauce from yesterday's Vlogmas, or the day before. I don't know, one of those one of those Vlogmases. I don't really know. Yeah. Turn it up a little more. Oh, really? That's funny. I guess you could kind of think of them like hash browns, sort of. Like, not really like the McDonald's hash browns, but that's the closest thing that I can think of. But they're much, 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 much better than that. Yeah. Yeah. So, they're smelling good already. And I'm tempted to turn them, but they're not quite ready to turn, because they need to be brown and crispy. And I hope I get a good crunch over these. Hash grease from McDonald's. That's funny. Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, that food gets a bad rap. I still eat their no, I don't eat anything from there. I have their their coffee drinks. I forget what you call them, but I'll have a caramel whatever from them, and they're pretty good. Yeah. Mm. Ooh, these smells good. I'm just gonna check to see if at least one is ready to turn over. I don't think so, but ooh, why are they sticking? I don't want them to stick. Maybe that means that it's not ready. Because you know how sometimes things will stick, but when it's ready, when it's not quite ready, they'll stick. And then when it is ready, it kind of like releases by itself. Oh, I don't think that was ready. This one might be though. Hmm. Let's see. Now it's moving around. These things are going to give me a hard time today, huh? I should have used the metal spatula because, yeah, that one was ready, but yeah, the metal spatula is thinner. Hello, Chrissy Vlogs. How are you? Thanks for coming into the live. Ooh, I'm on my way to 1 star. Maybe I'll get 1 star on the other my other channel. They have stars. And I think I may have gotten a star once or twice, but not in a long time. And I'm on my way to a star. So I'm happy about that. Thank you so much for the beans, Miss Chisholm. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, maybe I'll have a star by the end of the day. Look at me. Now, let's see. Oops. That was a nice little splash, but it didn't get me. I think that maybe I need to turn the fire up a little more. I don't know. Oh, that was a good one. These are smelling so good. Oh, love it. Okay. Yeah, I always forget to say that. If you see somebody you're not connected with, please connect and follow. Build your family. That only helps. The bigger your family is, the better. Yeah. Oh, I am so tired. Not really. I'm not as tired as I was yesterday. Yesterday I was extremely tired. And look at my hair. Gosh. I cannot seem to get it together. It's like doing its own thing. Oh well. I'm not gonna worry about it. Oh, I should drink apple cider. Because with the applesauce, I made apple cider and it's really good. So I might drink some with my potato latkes. minus the rum, because, you know, my intention was to spike it. But I don't think I'm going to be doing that. Wonder what I'm going to be making for dinner. That's what I'm wondering. Dinner plans. Anybody have dinner plans? Oh, yeah. When you go apple picking and pumpkin picking and all of that. Yeah, getting the apples, and sometimes some of the places sell apple cider. And we used to go, I don't know whether I said this when I was making, I think I did, but I don't know if you heard. There used to be a Dansbury Fair in Connecticut. I don't know if anybody knows about that, but they would have this big fair. And I forget what time of year it was, but it might have been around September. And we always used to get the apple cider. I boiled my apples to make the apple cider, but at the fair they did the cold press apples. No, chicken wraps. That sounds good. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing the same thing that I do every day. But yeah, they would do the cold press apple cider, and they would have, it looked like wooden slats, and the apples would go between, and they had spaces in between the slats, and I don't know whether crisscross or whatever, there would be layers, and then they would have this big thing that came down and pressed all the slats and the apples together, and you see all the juice, all the cider coming out of the bottom. Thanks for the love. I don't know who's giving me the taps, but I appreciate it. Let me get this salt out of the way. I won't be needing that again. Yeah, and that cider was so good. But this cider I made just by boiling the apples and adding some spices, because apparently you can do it like that too. My daughter got that recipe off of the internet somewhere. I don't know. But I made it, and it tastes really good. It's not as strong as the other kind, but it's really good. And it's perfect for making like a hot toddy. I told myself I was going to look up a recipe for hot toddies and make one. Because I don't know how to make one. But it tastes good cold too. And I would imagine that, rum and a little ice, that might make a nice little mixed drink cocktail kind of thing. It was good. Yeah, good old apple picking. We would make a million things with the apples. And then I happen to have kids that were like worse than me, because they not only have me going on the class trip carrying their apples, they have me carrying all the apples of their little friends too. Okay. Yeah. And that was something. Carrying apples and pumpkins together sometimes. Woo. You just wait, Jazzy. You just wait. Ugh. Yeah, I'm live. I'll call you right back. Let's see. Are these done? I want this first batch to be done so I can. Put this fork down here. I don't want the crust to stick to the pan. Just trying to do. Mm, this is a good one. Hmm. A little bit more. I got one little piece of crust stuck on the pan. Oh well. I'm gonna put a few more in there so I can. Hey JJ Miller, thanks for coming into the live. Yeah, it was because it was like I don't know, it wasn't like an Amish type of thing, but I don't know what was the community there, but they don't have the Dansbury Fair anymore. I'm kind of disappointed. In fact, I went to the last one. I just happened to go and I bought a cowboy hat. I love that thing. I don't know what happened to it. When I was young, I was what I prefer to call a costume dresser. It's like other people might just call it crazy, but a lot of the clothes that I wore were like themed. And I remember I had seen I don't know whether it was the Thornbirds, but she wore this black dress and it was very fitted to the top and then it flared out and it was like a cotton dress. I happened to find a very, very similar dress in Macy's. And this was like a million years ago. And I think, excuse the backfire, I think that the dress was like $68. That number sticks in my head for some reason. So it's $68. And I remember I took a guy with me to go shopping, one of my coworkers, and he was like having a fit. You're going to pay $68 for that dress, you know. But I bought it. And they didn't dress like this in the Thornbirds, but that style dress reminded me of Western style. And I had these black cowboy boots, and I had that black cowboy hat. And whenever I wore that dress, I would put on the hat and the boots as well. And people, I mean, the dress looked good and it looked good on me, but people would just like look at me like, what's wrong with that girl? I had a lot of outfits like that. I like costumes. And that reminds, oh my goodness, that brings up memory of a little girl that used to live in Hoboken. And she used to wear costumes to school like every day for years and years. She did it in kindergarten, she did it in first grade. Maybe she stopped doing it in second grade, but I respect her mother so much because, you know, look at that. Oh, Private Benjamin. That's funny. I remember that movie. Was it a movie or was it a show? Goldie Hawn. Didn't she star in that, Private Benjamin? But anyway, this little girl's mother was great because, you know, when kids want to be different like that and they don't mind being teased at school, because I'm sure they used to tease her at school. It's like, just let them do their thing. I kind of did that with my son too. He was a weird hairstyle person. Hey, Everyday Life with Kelly girls, thanks for coming in. He even had a blue mohawk one time. Oh, it was cute too. I mean, he looked good and he felt confident with it, you know. He was wearing hairstyles with partial locks long before it became popular. It's like if you had locks, you had locks. But he had, and I used to do his hair. So he would ask for all these crazy things. And he had his hair like he wears it now, with shaved on the sides, with locks on the top. But now his hair is much longer. And one time, he had me cut his locks so that he could, when he washed his hair, he could just like style it so they were sticking straight up. And then he had me do some sort of parts on one side, so it was like a little design with just lines. He was too much, too much. But you know what? He was being himself, and there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. Then one time, my middle daughter, hey James Money, thanks for coming in. My middle daughter had me dye her hair with Kool-Aid because she wanted to see if it worked. Now her hair was natural, and I knew that dye, those temporary dyes, didn't stick too well with natural hair. And I read in a magazine that it was like those temporary dyes. Well, not so much. Because what you had to do was you had to put the Kool-Aid, make a paste with the Kool-Aid, put it on your hair, then wrap it in foil, and then apply heat. And I had one of those bonnet hair things, hair dryers. And I let her stay under there for a couple of hours because, I said, let her get a little color and she'll be satisfied. That girl had a red piece of, was it red or blue? One of them was, I think one did one color and one did the other. But I was most concerned with the youngest because, the other one, she was already big and people didn't tease. People were doing weird things. She went to an art high school. It's like that. So, but my daughter, she went to, the youngest one, she was in a Christian school, Christian middle school. It was like grammar, and she didn't really stay through. So she was in grammar school, yeah, because she didn't stay through middle school. She's changed schools, and she's walking around with this red piece of hair, cherry red, like Kool-Aid. And that thing, it said it would come out in a couple of washes. I think that hair grew out. The color grew out. I don't think it washed out. And I was like, oh gosh. She was happy though, because she had dyed hair and that's what she wanted. And I'm so grateful that I only did one little piece. Because that was like, oh. Oh, these are the two new ones I put in. So no, they're not done. That's why they're giving me such a problem. But let me take this one out. These look nice. Whew. And I'll put one more in. And then we'll find out how they taste with the yogurt. Well, actually, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now it's an even number. I was gonna snitch one or take one. I'm gonna put this on, I'll put it here. And try it out. But I'll be fair. Actually, just 1 second. The plumber's here.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, if it gets too noisy in here, I'm gonna have to end it quick. But let's hope it doesn't. All the crust stuff on the bottom. That one too. I'm going to sample. And I'll sample the rice on this plate. He might not even be hungry. And no, they are not playing music. But I heard music from it. Close this door and see if it helps. I'll put it on one. Well, I wish my son was out here now. Because he studied Italian for like, I think 3 years in high school. And he probably doesn't remember any of it. I'm going to tell him to whisper.
Yes.
Would you like whisper to each other? Because I'm doing a broadcast.
We're going to make noise now.
Yeah, well, that's okay. I'm going to be finished soon, but I mean, like right now while you're talking, you can just slowly go through it.
You're going to get the hammer right after this or...
Yeah, I'm getting off soon, but I'm just for right now.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, let me taste this so you guys could see how it tastes. And I'm going to sign off. This applesauce is amazing, by the way. Oh, here we go. The yogurt's not bad. Thanks for coming in, and I'll see you guys later.